Are you surprised?
Unfortunately not. I think this is happening much more than we're aware of. We know that the JAMA, the Journal of American Medical Association, came out with a study very recently that said 1 in 4 students are receiving sexed images. That's between the ages of 11 and 17, and that about 13% are sending these images.
Sexting has become commonplace among our youth. Would we say that?
When 1 in 4 are receiving it, yeah, absolutely. I think it's something that we need to be both aware of and having conversations about in our communities and our families around the dinner table with our children. If we hand them a cell phone, we need to be having a conversation with them.
I'm guessing that these suspects probably have no idea that possessing these pictures could be considered child pornography.
No, absolutely. I don't think kids, first of all, at that age and stage, developmentally understand what child pornography is, but I also don't think that they assume that there's anything wrong with it. If somebody is sending this to me and they want me to have it, why would it be wrong? How is that inappropriate? And they don't recognize the permanence of these images on devices and the potential for its use.
If a teenager sends a naked picture of themselves and possesses that picture and sends it, it could be considered illegal.
Yes, both are illegal. So both possession and distribution are both crimes.
So that's the legal side of it. But there's an emotional side too. Why would, say, a girl or boy send a naked picture of themselves?
So I think the vast majority, we think about 80%, are sent to people who we think are our boyfriend or girlfriend. And there's a sort of culture of the request is not seen as inappropriate. Hey, send me a naked photo, like I'm thinking about you. And teens naturally are risk-taking. They don't always think before they act, and they just do it. It's seen as titillating and exciting, and they don't recognize that what they're doing may both be a crime and be permanent. I work with many adolescents who have been involved in circumstances where they've shared pictures of themselves, usually in what they think is a trusted relationship, and those images were then shared with others. And once you send it, you don't have control of where it goes. And I worked with a young adult who was in a social situation where she was approached by a man who she thought was attractive and who she'd never met before, who then said, I think I have a naked image of you on my phone. And basically this image that she had shared as a teenager was still out there almost 10 years later.
What do we need to tell our kids?
So we need to have this conversation on a consistent basis. This isn't a one and done conversation, but we need to start with be thoughtful about what we post. Sort of think before you post. How would I feel if this was shared with others? Could this be used to hurt me, this image, potentially? We believe we trust the other person, but what happens if we can't trust them? I think we also, as parents, have to be thoughtful about what we're posting. And we routinely post images of our children, to share with our friends and our family on Facebook and other social media sites. And we have to begin asking our kids, is it okay for us to post these images? When they're old enough to know that we're doing it, we should have a conversation with them about our doing it, because that then models for them that they should be thinking, is it okay for me to post these images?
When is the right time to have these conversations with our children?
I think as soon as you are handing a cell phone to your child, and in this day and age it could be in 5th grade, 6th grade, typically in middle school, you need to be sitting down with them and talking to them about sexting.
It keeps happening.
It's going to keep happening until students learn, unfortunately, the severity of it and the seriousness, and we continue to have these conversations. I think this isn't a conversation that parents typically have. It's hard enough to sit down with your child and talk about sex. So now we're asking you to talk about sex and technology. So we're doubling down on this conversation.
Right.
So it's an uncomfortable conversation to have, and I want it to become commonplace. I think the more commonplace it becomes, the less this is going to happen. And, especially having conversations about the dignity of their bodies. and how we don't share that publicly, with other people.
And also talking to your kids about if you get an image like that, don't share it.
Right.
Some kid here did the right thing because police got involved.
Right. And I do think that there, resource officers in the schools, if you receive an image like that, it's really important to bring it to the attention of an adult, because the potential is for this image to get out beyond even the school bounds, and the danger to a young person's, self is immense.
Thank you very much.